Fake HOA issued $6,500 fine over a plastic kiddie pool, then karma hit town. I'm Ryan Carter, a single dad and electrician in Sunridge Meadows. This is the story of how a fake HOA issued a $6,500 fine over my kids' plastic kiddie pool, thinking they could crush our joy only to face a karmic backlash that left them reeling. Sunridge Meadows was our little slice of happiness, a suburban neighborhood where kids splashed in sprinklers and neighbors shared lemonade on hot days. I'd lived here 4 years, raising my two kids, Noah 6 and Ella 4, while working long hours as an electrician. Our backyard was their playground, and this summer I'd set up a bright blue plastic kiddie pool for them to splash in a cheap, simple joy that lit up their faces. A little family fun sign I'd made hung on the fence nearby, a nod to the memories we were building. Then Janet Pierce stormed in, declaring herself HOA president without a vote. In her black uniform, with a bold white HOA logo, she looked like a wannabe dictator, not a neighbor. Her rules were suffocating: no unapproved toys, no visible clutter, and her obsession: no unsightly pools. That's what made our kiddie pool her target. Janet's reign started small but turned vicious fast. She'd patrol in her golf cart, megaphone in hand, issuing fines for the smallest infractions. My neighbor Maria got a $150 penalty for unapproved window decals. Another friend, Aisha, was fined for a messy mailbox. It was petty, but Janet had a knack for intimidation. She'd hand out fines with a venomous, "just keeping Sunridge perfect," while digging up dirt to keep people in line. I heard she'd threatened Maria's catering business with a fake zoning complaint. I tried to stay out of it. My job and kids kept me busy, but Janet's bullying was impossible to ignore. The kiddie pool became her obsession. She called it unsightly, claiming it lowered property values despite it being a temporary setup in my backyard. She sent violation notices, fining me $300, then $600, despite my explaining it was for my kids and on my property. I'd show up to HOA meetings, still in my work boots, and call her out. "It's a kiddie pool, Janet. It's for my kids. You've got no authority." She'd glare, her fake smile slipping. "This is my neighborhood," she snapped once, slamming her gavel. My neighborhood. We all paid taxes, but Janet acted like a tyrant. Whispers grew, neighbors were fed up but scared. She'd spread rumors like claiming Aisha's tutoring gig was unregulated to keep us quiet. The tension built over the summer. Janet's HOA crew, all in matching black uniforms, patrolled like enforcers. They'd knock on doors demanding compliance and leave threatening letters. My friend Priya was fined for unapproved garden lights. Another neighbor, Sam, got hit for a messy lawn during a heat wave. It was infuriating, but people were intimidated. Janet had hinted at reporting my pool to the city for sanitation violations. It was a plastic pool, but her threats stung. I'd catch her eyeing my backyard from her cart, her gaze predatory, and knew she was planning something. When I worked a late shift rewiring a client's house, Janet struck. She sent a $6,500 fine and a notice demanding I remove the pool or face legal action. I got home exhausted but eager to see Noah and Ella, only to find the papers taped to my door. My gut churned. I texted Aisha, who'd had her own run-ins with Janet. "She's heartless," Aisha replied. I wanted to fight, but I'm a dad, not a lawyer. Then came the afternoon it all exploded. It was a swelteringly unbearable August afternoon, the sun blazing down, when I heard Ella crying. I ran to the backyard and saw the kiddie pool, neon purple spray paint, screaming, "Remove now," across its side, the paint dripping onto the lawn. The pool was punctured, water leaking out in a sad puddle, and a child's floaty lay discarded nearby, smeared with mud. The $6,500 fine notice was nailed to the fence post right by my family fun sign, which was now toppled in the grass. My heart broke. This wasn't just vandalism, it was an attack on my kids' happiness. I stood there clutching Noah's toy boat, my blood boiling. Across the yard, Janet and her HOA crew stood in their black uniforms, smirking. Janet held a spray can, her chin high like she'd won a war. Neighbors gathered, Noah and Ella clinging to me, with tearful faces, phones out, recording. I marched over, my voice trembling with rage. "This is my kids' pool, Janet. You've gone too far." She laughed, her eyes cold. "Your trash doesn't belong here, Ryan. Pay up or leave." The crowd gasped. That fine wasn't just money, it was my rent, my kids' school supplies, everything I'd scraped together as a single dad. Maria ran up furious. "This is cruel, Janet." But Janet just shrugged her crew, nodding like drones. I called the police, my hands shaking with anger. They arrived, lights flashing across my ruined backyard. Janet spun a story about protecting property values, claiming the pool was a safety hazard. Her crew backed her. Lies, their faces smug. The cops took statements, but Janet's confidence made my skin crawl. She thought she'd win. I looked at the punctured pool, the paint still wet, and felt rage and betrayal. But I'm a dad, I fight for my kids. This was our home, their joy, and I wasn't letting Janet destroy it. The next day I couldn't shake the image of Ella's tears. I started talking to neighbors quietly at first. In kitchens and over coffee, Maria was livid. Aisha was ready to fight. We dug into the HOA records and struck gold. Janet's presidency was a fraud. She'd forged signatures to seize power, and her rules violated city ordinances. I'd been meticulous, saving every notice recording her threats, and I sent them to a lawyer friend, Elena, who worked in community advocacy. Aisha's security camera caught Janet and her crew sneaking into my backyard at dawn spray cans, and a knife in hand puncturing the pool with glee. Priya found bank statements showing Janet had siphoned HOA dues for her cart uniforms and even a luxury spa day. The neighborhood came alive. Neighbors who'd stayed silent shared stories, fines, threats, lies. Sam told how Janet had fined his kid's lemonade stand, calling it commercial. I reached out to local parenting groups and community activists, and they rallied, contacting media and city officials. We held a meeting at Maria's house, 100 strong, joined by families from across the neighborhood. I spoke my voice raw about Noah and Ella's laughter in that pool, only to face this at home. Maria shared how Janet had fined her catering van, calling it tacky. The room seethed. We filed complaints with the city council, sent our evidence footage. Financials, everything to the police, and contacted the local news. Janet sensed the tide turning and came for me. She banged on my door, still in her black uniform, her face twisted. "You're ruining Sunridge, Ryan," she snarled. I stood firm, heart pounding, my kids behind me. "No, Janet, you did." She stormed off, but I saw fear in her eyes. She knew her reign was over. Then karma hit hard. Aisha posted the security footage online, and it went viral, racking up millions of views in hours. News stations ran it with headlines like "Fake HOA Destroys Kids' Kiddie Pool." Parenting blogs and community groups shared it. Their comments, a storm of outrage, calling Janet a bully who crushed children's joy. Strangers started a crowdfunding campaign to replace the pool and cover the fine, raising enough to buy a new pool and fund a community play area. Janet tried to fight back, posting on social media about maintaining standards, but the backlash was merciless. Tens of thousands of comments tore her apart. Her accounts deleted under the weight of scorn. Her crew abandoned her, some confessing to the police to save themselves. The city moved fast. They launched a criminal investigation, and the police reopened my case with the new evidence. The final showdown came at Janet's last HOA meeting, a desperate bid to cling to power. She stood at her podium, megaphone in hand, her voice shrill as she tried to rally her dwindling supporters. But the room was ours, packed with neighbors, parents, and even city council members. I walked in with Elena, 2 cops, and a city official. The crowd parted, phones up, live streaming to a global audience. The official read the charges: fraud, embezzlement, felony, vandalism, and extortion. Janet's face drained of color, her megaphone slipping from her hand as the cops cuffed her, her precious uniform wrinkling as they let her out. Her crew tried to scatter, but neighbors blocked the exits, their voices loud with demands for justice. The city dissolved her fake HOA on the spot, and Elena filed a civil lawsuit for damages. Janet's downfall was a bitter pill. She faced jail time for vandalism and fraud, with additional charges for extortion, after the investigation revealed she'd bullied other neighbors into paying fake fines. The fines she owed were crushing, far beyond her means, and the lawsuit forced her to pay up $6,500 to cover the fine she'd slapped on me, plus the cost of replacing the pool, legal fees, and compensation for emotional distress. She had to sell her house to cover it, her own greed forcing her to foot the bill for her actions. She slunk away to a cramped apartment on the edge of town, her name a curse in Sunridge Meadows and beyond. The online backlash followed her. her social media accounts deleted under a flood of scorn, her face plastered on protest signs as a symbol of HOA tyranny gone wrong. We rebuilt our backyard, setting up a new kiddie pool even bigger than before, and the kids' laughter filled the air again. Noah and Ella splashed happily, their new floaties bobbing in the water, and we hung a fresh family fun sign on the fence. The neighbors threw a block party to celebrate with kids from all over the neighborhood, joining in the fun. They thanked me, calling me a hero, but I owed them and every parent who'd rallied for standing with us. We held new HOA elections, choosing leaders who cared about community, not control, and the backyard became a place of joy again, with summer days filled with splashing and laughter. I'm just Ryan, a dad who loves his kids and their happiness, but Janet taught me something. Bullies like her thrive on fear. When we spoke out, when the world listened, we crushed her. It wasn't just about a kiddie pool. It was about childhood community and the courage to fight for what's right. Janet's bitter end, paying for her own crimes, proved karma splashes back when people stand together,